Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Phoenix City, Alabama. This is Municipal Stadium in Phoenix City, and the 4th annual Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl, with Towson State of Maryland taking on St. John's University for the national championship of Division III college football. My name is Steve Zabriskie. It'll be my pleasure to bring you the play-by-play, and working as our expert commentator, the former head coach of Michigan State University, Duffy Doherty. Duffy, it's a pleasure to be working with you again, and we're covering Division III college football. For people who aren't really too familiar with the different divisions, what is denoting Division III football from the others?
Well, it's a misnomer to call Division III teams small college teams, because actually some of them, like Towson State, have 15 or 16,000 students. The way you tell whether you're a Division I or Division II or Division III, this is determined by the schools themselves. Division I teams, which are popularly considered major college football teams, are permitted under the NCAA rules to give 30 grants of unearned financial aid a year. Well, all the aid in Division III must be given on the basis of financial need. And that's not how badly they need the players, but how badly the players have the need. In other words, we're going to see a great game today between two universities who gave all their aid to their football players, just like the aid that's given to all other non-athletes.
So these players were actually recruited right out of a student body.
Out of a student body.
Duffy, what can we look for in this game? Of course, we have two very, very fine teams, or they wouldn't be here. First of all, St. John's is 9-0-1, Towson State is 10-2. They're winning teams, and they are playing for the national championship. What can we expect?
Well, I think we'll see a high-scoring game. Towson State last week against St. Lawrence scored 38 points. Well, St. John's has already broken most of the scoring records for the national championship playoffs that were compiled in 3 games, and they've done it in 2 games. They remind me of the old Minnesota teams that Bud Wilkins used to play on. They run right at you. They might tell you where they're going to go, but then they keep on going. It's a very powerful team, and I think that both teams will score a lot. I look for St. John's to be awfully difficult to contain.
Okay, the players are about ready to come onto the field, and we'll be introducing them to you shortly. Towson State of Maryland will be in gold jerseys with white pants and white helmets. St. John's University will be dressed in red with white numbers, and there you see St. John's coming onto the field right now, getting ready to run on to the field. That is, there's a good crowd on hand here. This is the 4th annual Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl, and again, it's being held here at Municipal Stadium in Phoenix City. And here come the Towson State Tigers from Baltimore, Maryland. Running on, transition in their red and white uniforms. I'm sure, Duffy, that they're a little happy that they're playing here rather than in the cold of Minnesota. There you see how the teams got here. In the quarterfinals, Towson State defeating C.W. Post, which was top-ranked in Division III, and St. John's won over Augustana 46-7. Then in the semifinals last week, Towson State had to hold on, St. Lawrence making a comeback, but they won that one 38-36. And then St. John's really put Buena Vista away 61-0. And a very, very exciting football game for them because of their prolific scoring and their offense. They have an opportunity, St. John's does, to break a number of records in this game today, Duffy. They hold almost every playoff record for Division III playoffs, and they've only played 2 games.
They could break all the existing records in the first quarter of this football game.
They have a very powerful offense, and of course, Towson State will have a very, very good defense to counter that with. They're ranked 5th in the nation in Division III college football defensively, in total defense. It should be a battle between St. John's offense and Towson State's defense.
Well, St. John's has a good defensive unit, too, especially their middle guard is considered the finest middle guard in Division III football.
Of course, the players are going to be the ones that make this game exciting, and we hope that you enjoy it. And if you haven't experienced Division III college football before, I think you're in for a real treat, because these two teams obviously have a great deal at stake. And this is the first time that Towson State has been in postseason play. St. John's is no stranger to postseason action, so perhaps that might be an advantage for St. John's, Duffy, having the experience of playing in a postseason game before.
It certainly could be. And John Gagliardi, the coach of St. John's, is a throwback to the old-type coach. He runs the team completely himself. He doesn't have any assistant coaches up in the press box. He runs everything from the sideline, and I like this kind of thing because, to me, conducting the team was the great thrill of coaching. I never believed in having a lot of coordinators, as some of the teams do now.
Let's meet those players that we hope will make it so exciting for you now as we go down to the field for the player introductions. Here now, the players for St. John's University. At defensive end, number 81 from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Tim Fristrom. At defensive tackle, number 74 from St. Cloud, Minnesota, Joe Wenzel. At linebacker, number 58 from Wadena, Minnesota, Tom Young. Also at linebacker, number 47 from Moose Lake, Minnesota, Mark Griffin. At Offensive guard, number 67 from St. Cloud, Minnesota, Dan Dorgan. The center, number 59 from St. Paul, Minnesota, Dave Grovem. At quarterback, number 2 from Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, Jeff Norman. And halfback, number 22 from St. Cloud, Minnesota, Jim Roeder. At fullback, number 46 from Waseca, Minnesota, Brad Eustace. Also a fullback, number 44 from Sauk Center, Minnesota, Tim Schmitz. The wingback, number 30 from Cottage Grove, Minnesota, Chris Boyd. The kicker, number 5 from Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, Tom Bernardson. And the head coach of St. John's in his 24th season, John Gagliardi. And now for the Tigers of Towson State University. At defensive tackle, number 60 from Baltimore, Maryland, Don Redmond. The middle guard, number 71 from Baltimore, Joe Wagner. At defensive tackle, number 81 from Baltimore, Eldridge Haley. A defensive back, number 25 from Baltimore, John Rawson. Also a defensive back, number 36 from Baltimore, Randy Bielski. Another defensive back, number 46 from Jarrettsville, Maryland, Paul White. A wide receiver, number 21 from Havre de Grace, Minnesota, Mike Bennett. The other wide receiver, number 84 from Silver Spring, Maryland, Ken Snoots. The tight end, number 83 from Dundalk, Maryland, Skip Chase. At quarterback, number 12 from Baltimore, Maryland, Dan DeLay. The tailback, number 34 from Jessup, Maryland, Jeff Herrick. At fullback, number 44 from Baltimore, Ken Doyle. And the head coach of the Towson State Tigers in his 5th season, Phil Albert. And there you meet the players for the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl as St. John's gets ready to take on Towson State in Phoenix City, Alabama. We'll be back in just a minute. Steve Zabriskie along with Duffy Doherty back at Phoenix City, Alabama's Municipal Stadium for the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl. As you look at the Towson State defensive huddle, Jeff Norman, the quarterback, number 2. Tim Schmitz gained over 1,300 yards this year. Number 44 will be at fullback. Brad Eustace, number 46, in the backfield along with him. And Chris Boyd, number 30, is the wingback. Forward progress out to about the 37-yard line. Gain of about 3 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 7. St. John's offensive line with Brigham, Glocky, and the others up front. St. John's primarily a rushing team on 2nd down and 7 from their own 37-yard line. Again, straight ahead. Eustace breaks a tackle and gets out across the 45-yard line. Randy Bielski, the defensive secondary, finally makes the tackle for Towson State. Their own 49-yard line. Just underway in the first quarter. The pitch on the option play, Schmitz into Towson territory, breaks a tackle at the 45 and gets down to about the 44-yard line. Paul White, number 46, the leading tackler for Towson State, along with Joe Kelly, make the tackle into secondary. And again, a good game for St. John's.
St. John's runs almost the old-fashioned single wing. They have big, powerful backs, and they have that inside belly where they'll give the ball to the fullback or fake it to him and pitch it out to a halfback or to the trailing wingback, just like an old single-wing team. And just
State 43-yard line. A quick pitch comes to the side of Schmitz. Schmitz crosses the 45 up to the line of scrimmage near the 40-yard line. Close to first down yardage. We'll see where they spot the ball. It is another first down for St. John's. It is just short of the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Johnnies from that point.
those chains up and down the field.
They have that grounded out offense, and they're doing it so far. 1st and 10 from the Towson State 40-yard line. Norman wants to pass. Under pressure, dumps it off. It's too low. It's intended for Schmitz. Incomplete. That's to go in the first quarter. The Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl from Phoenix City, Alabama, and the National Championship of Division III NCAA football here on ABC. Chris Boyd, the wingback in motion. Handoff is to the first man through, Eustace. Eustace crosses the 35-yard line down to about the 33. Making the tackle in the secondary, Paul White, number 46. Game defensively. 3rd down and 3. I don't believe he made it. Number 66, Don Gibson, and number 60, Don Redmond, stopping right at the line of scrimmage. We'll see where they mark the ball. Duffy, St. John's. All right, they're going for it on 4th down and 1 from the Towson 32-yard line. Norman on a keeper. He's got the first down. He's in open territory. He's going to score. The 10, all the way. Jeff Norman on a great call from the 32-yard line. But it's the first touchdown of the game. And St. John's goes out in front 6-0 with just 11:25 left to play in the first quarter. Just underway on a 32-yard run.
And to Eustace, here's the play. He fakes to both Eustace and Schmitz, keeps the ball himself, completely full. Towson State goes 30 yards. Fine.
Good. A 66-yard scoring drive in 8 plays in only 3 minutes 35 seconds. We'll be back with more NCAA college football from the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl right after this message. Defensive backfield brother Dan Goulet is the quarterback for Towson State. Goulet, a fine passer, good man on total offense, running well as well. Also in the backfield, Ken Doyle, number 44, will be the fullback. Number 42, Mike Maloney, is the tailback. And one of the wide receivers, Mike Bennett, number 21. The other wide receiver, Skip Chase, number 83, the tight end. On the 1st and 10 play, Ken Doyle, the fullback, carries out near the 30-yard line. Number 35, Joe Luby, and number 34, Mark Hall, make yards out to the 30-yard line. It'll be 2nd down, 5 yards to go for Towson State. There you see the offensive line for the Tigers.
Laterally along that line, and there are 3 red shirts in on the tackle.
10 minutes, 15 seconds left to go in the first quarter. St. John's has taken a 7-0 lead as you look at the Johnnies' defensive backfield. 3rd and 5. Delay to pass. It's overthrown over everybody's head. Incomplete. It'll be 4th down and 5, and Towson State will have to take it away on their first offensive possession. Football, a great crowd on hand, and Towson State going on offense on their 2nd offensive possession. 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line. Bennett carries out to about the 25, 28, close to the 30-yard line, actually. Tim Christrom, number 81, and number 58, Tom Young, on the tackle as you look at John Gagliardi. With only 58 losses in 24 years, Duffy, that's quite a coaching record.
That's right. If you're going to make yardage against this fine St. John's team, you're going to have quick-hitting plays like that last week. You have to get there in a hurry because they have great lateral pursuit.
4.7 points per game. The Tigers are on offense now, however, and they have a big play here on 3rd down and 3. Again, Goulet to throw it again. Hits Chase. This time it's complete. Chase breaks the tackle. Fumble. The ball is loose at the 42-yard line, covered by St. John's. The Johnnies come up with a break, and the ball is picked up by number 43 of St. John, Greg Wilkerson. The fake on the reverse to Boyd. Norman to pass complete to Rockers. Rockers out of bounds in Towson State territory at the 36-yard line. Run out of bounds. Rockers. Here it is, Duffy.
Let's take a look. He fakes the wing back. It's a counter pass. Hits his wide receiver. Number 13, Dave Rocker. A fine catch.
Offensive strength as they have a 1st and 10 at Towson State's 36-yard line. Again, it's Norman. Norman still has it. Now he wants to pitch, but he can't. Boyd does a nice job of picking the ball up, and he's bumped out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. Over to cover Randy Bilski, number 36 in the secondary. And that was almost another turnover, Duffy. Maybe it was on guard, however. The ball just across the 35-yard line. 2nd down and 9. Boyd on the wingback counter play. Breaks a tackle, gets across the 30-yard line, down to about the 29. Joe Wagner, number 71, and number 66, Don Gibson, the linebacker on the left side, make the tackle. Chris Boyd got some contact there. He did bump that knee in practice yesterday, and apparently he has injured it again, and that might be a big loss for St. John's. Down and 1 yard to go. The ball at the 32-yard line of Towson State. Straight up the middle, Schmitz. They go for the 1st down. He's close to it, getting close to the 25-yard line. And I believe he did get enough for the 1st down, huh?
I believe he did. He picked up 2 yards. He only needed 1.
1st down and 10 from the 25-yard line of Towson State. Again, the belly play. The 2nd man through. Down inside the 15-yard line. Tackled by number 24, Rick Simmons, deep in the secondary. And again, it's Schmitz, who is having an outstanding afternoon.
22 yards and 7 yards. Let's take a look at it now. 2nd man through, gets the ball from Norman. Here comes Tim Schmitz. He's well on his way to making that 1,300 and some yards, 1,400 yards.
First quarter. Again, the fake. Norman rolling, looking to pass. Pressures on his sack around the 26-yard line. Number 38, Richard Wheeler.
Pull the score down because so far they've been unstoppable on the ground, but except for one completion, their passing game has gone awry.
It was a 13-yard loss back to the 20 this season. They've won 9 straight, including 2 playoff wins to get here to the national championship game. Straight up the middle goes Eustace. Brad Eustace at the 20, the 15-yard line, the 10, and finally driven out of bounds. Spitz it is.
Number 44, he gets a good block on the outside from his wide receiver, breaks to the outside. He's an awfully hard runner with very good speed. Once again, St. John's.
Now Norman wants to throw again. Over the middle, into the end zone, intercepted. Intercepted by Randy Bielski. And Bielski gets it out to about the 13 or 14-yard line.
Let's take a look at Norman's pass. It's picked off by Bielski. Had he known he was in the end zone, he could have stopped there. It would have been a touchback. He attempts to run it out. It's difficult for a defensive back to always know his position on the field.
John 7-0 here in the first quarter of the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl. Dulay intercepted. And number 21, Terry Garrity of St. John's, and we have back-to-back turnover interceptions. Vance Duffy.
Here's Dan DeLay throwing. It's picked off in the secondary in a sitting position. The ball is dead in college football when one knee touches the ground.
Just short of the 25-yard line. Norman trips over his own man and falls down at the line of scrimmage. The left side guard, number 67, Dan Dorgan, was trying to pull on the play, and Norman tripped over his leg. We make a yard attempt. Scott Becker holding his block. Blocked by number 38, Richard Wheeler.
I noticed something on that play. St. John's only had 10 men on the field. They did not have a wing back to the right. They only had 10 men on the field on that play. Now, you're allowed to have 10. You can't have 12, but it's a lot better to have 12 than only have 10. And I'm sure that the young man, now you can see over to the right, there's no wing back. There's supposed to be a wing back over there. That's where they can do to block the kick. He'll hear from John Gagliardi about that.
Moving from their own 40-yard line. Dulay to pass. Intercepted, intended for Chase. Picked off by Tom Koss, number 88. Koss returns to the 34-yard line of Towson State. Run out of bounds by Dean Prudo, number 64. Game, although they're only leading 7-0. Here it is again.
Here's Dan DeLay throwing. This is the defensive left end dropping back. He's tall, big, and Tom Koss, number 88, picks it off. Runs it back now to about the 34-yard line.
From the 33-yard line. Norman on the option play, pitches back. Jim Roeder, number 22, crosses the 30 down to the 25-yard line. Don Gibson, number 66, along with number 24, Rick Simmons in the secondary for Towson State, make the tackle. This will probably be the last play of the quarter. 4th and 1 from the Towson State 25-yard line. Norman on a sneak. I believe he got enough for the first down as he's down close to the 23-yard line. And that is stop the clock with 7 seconds to go, so maybe it isn't the last play of the first quarter. Gabe Morrow, number 77, makes the tackle, and it is enough for the first down. And time of possession so far. And they are on offense for the 1st and 10 from the Towson State 23-yard line. Eustace, the fullback, breaks the tackle at the 20 and gets down to about this 18 or 17-yard line of Towson State. And the Johnnies continue to move that ball, Duffy, number 4.
And there's an old cliche in football, you cannot score without the ball. St. John's has had it almost all the time.
Towson State gained only 13 yards rushing in the first quarter, and they really need to do better than that. First man through is Schmitz. Schmitz down close to the 10-yard line. Second down, or first and goal, rather, from the 10-yard line. A fumble, and Towson State has recovered. Coming up with the ball, number 48, Joe Kelly. On 1st and 10 from just outside the 10-yard line, Towson State stops another St. John scoring threat. Comes out into the backfield is Tom Jones, number 23, replacing him in tailback. It's Jones with the football on a pitch sweep to the right. Jones with great speed at the 25 to 30. Ball down from behind in the secondary, close to the 40-yard line. The tackle made by number 94, Ernie England, who slid out to the far side. 15-yard run for Tom Jones on his first possession, or rather first carry of the afternoon.
It's a pitch sweep to Tom Jones. He's got excellent speed. He breaks a tackle on the line. However, there's a flag on the play, and this fine run by Jones is going to be called back.
Ernie England slid over to make the tackle. The middle guard is showing great speed in pursuit because Jones has super speed. As you can see there, averaging almost 5 yards a carry, but nothing. We're in the second quarter. Dulay to pass. Incomplete, intended for Jones as he had pressure on him. And Jones may be hurt. Jones was hit, as you can see there, immediately upon trying to receive the ball, and he is really favoring his left knee.
Dan DeLay, the fine quarterback from Towson State, has attempted 6 passes. He's completed 1 for 21 yards, and he's thrown 2 interceptions. And I think that these interceptions have hurt them.
There you see Tom Jones being helped off the field. Apparently it is 11 yards to go from Towson State's own 11-yard line. And again, DeLay to throw. Trying to set up the screen. He can't find anybody open. Getting away from the pressure. Now near the 15-yard line and finally run out of bounds. He ran a long way for only a 4-yard gain. Ran nearly all over the field before finally being run out of bounds. Terry Garrity, number 21, one of the St. John's defenders over there to bump him out. Jeff Herrick has come on to punt for Towson State. He'll get it from his own 5. Nearly blocked and may have been touched. May have been touched, but he sure got a nice roll out of it. It's all the way out to midfield. Joe Luby, who was back deep to receive, can't do anything about it. And Towson State has it. Almost a 40-yard kick. Not been touched at all. First and 10 for St. John's from the 49-yard line of Towson State. Eustace straight ahead, close to the 45-yard line. Eldridge Haley, 6'3", 245-pound senior defensive tackle. And Gabe Morrow, his counterpart on the other side of the line, made the tackle. Passing so far this afternoon. He's going to try it again. Pressure's on him. Gets it off to Schmitz. Schmitz is safety valve in a center screen. Schmitz breaks a tackle at the 30, going to the 15. Touchdown. Great run by Tim Schmitz, who broke 2 or 3 tackles around the 25 and 30-yard line to take it in for a St. John's touchdown.
Norman has to scramble. His protection breaks down. Schmitz is in blocking. Finally, there he is. He comes back over the middle. Safety valve pass. Watch him turn on the speed. He has quick feet. Watch him turn on the speed and go all the way. 49 yards and 3 plays.
26 seconds left to play in the second quarter, and we'll be back with more NCAA college football action from the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl after this message. Let's take another look at the touchdown play, Duffy.
Here it is. It was a broken play. It was intended to be a screen pass to the right, but the protection broke down. Norman had to scramble, and Schmitz very intelligently moved to the inside, took the broken play pass from Norman, the quarterback, then legged it all the way for a touchdown. The second.
Towson State. Line drive shot coming to the right side. Rick Simmons takes it at the 14-yard line. Simmons straight at the side, at the 40-yard line, out there the 45 on a great return. Rick Simmons, a 6-foot, 170-pound freshman, a 30-yard kickoff return to the 44-yard line. First and 10, Towson State from their own 44-yard line. I formation in the backfield. Tailback Maloney fumbles. Recovered by St. John's at the 50-yard line. And again, Towson State turns the ball over. Coming up with the ball, number 897, Gary Stagg. 16 touchdowns, 16 touchdowns after his touchdown run with that screen pass. Gain of 4, second down and 6. Norman rolling left. Pressure's on him, and he's dropped back around the 39-yard line. Great defensive play by Gabe Morrow, number 77, at 221. Straight up the middle again at Schmitz. He goes nowhere. Good defensive penetration by the Towson State defensive line. Number 81, Eldridge Haley, their big defensive tackle, and Joe Kelly, number 48, along with second down and 5. Bennett split to the right, Snoots to the left. Maloney, close to a first down, out to about the 19-yard line. He's going to be a yard or 2 short, however. St. John's leading 14-0. Third and 1. Towson State at their own 19-yard line. First man through, Doyle, close. Right at the 20-yard line.
Yes,
it is enough yardage for a first down. As he gets across the 20-yard line, that's a second first down for the Tigers of Towson State. First and 10 now from the 20-yard line. Dulay to throw, complete. It's the 33-yard line for 84, Ken Snoots. Dulay. Looking long down the far sideline for Bennett, incomplete. State. Dulay on a quick pop, intended, maybe intercepted. It is intercepted by St. John's. Number 21, Terry Garrity, was intended for Ken Snoots again on that quick look-in pattern. It went right through Snoots' hands, and Garrity picked it off.
It was on the ground. Let's take another look at it. Intended for Snoots. Watch Terry Garrity pick it right off the ground, right here. Watch it right there. Just in a fine catch, about an inch off the ground.
Another turnover and another interception. Maloney's carried 8 times for 20 yards so far this afternoon. On 2nd and 8 from the 20, the fake. Dulé under pressure, drop at the 15-yard line. However, with great defensive plays, some fine offensive plays, and some exciting turnovers as well. On 3rd down and 14, Dulé wants to throw. Over the middle, complete. Bennett, number 21, Mike Bennett, stopped immediately by Greg Wilkerson, number 43. It's not quite enough yardage for the first down. And that is the end of the first half of the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl here in Phoenix City, Alabama. Rushing is one of the big factors in the game. 152-19. St. John's having the big edge. In passing, pretty even, 69-43. And the total yards, as we mentioned, 221-62. First downs, 10 for St. John's, only 3 for Towson State. Offensive plays, close to double. And the ball control time, of course, the turnover is the big factor, with Towson State committing 4, and most of those very, very costly turnovers that gave St. John's excellent field position almost every time, allowing the Johnnies to control the football game and operate in good field position, do the things they need to do. Dulé to pass over the middle, complete. Skip Chase with a nice reception on the look-in play out to the 33-yard line for Towson State. Here it is, Duffy.
Here's the same, a fake to the back coming in. Here's over the middle, we have Skip Chase, a fine receiver, 6'4". The last time he caught a pass like that, he fumbled the ball. This time he hung on for dear life.
Dan Dulé. Doyle crosses the 40-yard line out to about the 42. Right now on this possession than they have all afternoon. Doyle hit right behind the line of scrimmage immediately by Joe Winsel, 6'3", 220-pound senior, number 74. Winsel's playing with a bad ankle, but it didn't look like it that time. Take it away, Jeff Herrick, number 34, back to punt. It's a wobbly kick. O'Brien lets it bounce, and it takes a St. John's bounce, coming back upfield at about the 42-yard line. Be back with you at the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl. St. John's going back on offense. 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. Broder is in at a wingback, along with Eustace and Schmitz in the backfield. Eustace straight ahead, out in the 45-yard line. Brad Eustace with some good hard running this afternoon. Coming into the game, Eustace again 372 yards. On 2nd down, Norman on the pitch back to Roeder. Roeder hit behind the line for a loss. Number 46, Paul White, the leading tackler for Towson State.
He kept it, and the option was very well defense.
It is 3rd down and 6 now for St. John's. Eustace straight ahead, breaks a tackle, close to first down yardage as he gets out across the 50-yard line. Picks up more than enough for the first down. About 3 more than he needed. 1st and 10. Norman to Eustace again. No, Schmitz from the outside. Schmitz at the 30. Down to the 20 to the 18-yard line. And gave it to Schmitz. Number 25, John Rawson, finally brought Schmitz down, but we have a penalty marker down, and that play is going to come back. Here it is, though, Duffy.
Once again, Tim Schmitz gets the ball on the inside belly, and he sets sail and almost goes all the way. There's a touchdown saving, but the ball play would have been called back regardless. Be a 5-yard penalty against St. John.
Eustace still fighting for yardage. What a hard running back he is. Crosses midfield before Don Redmond, number 60, and number 38, Richard Wheater, can bring him down for Towson State. By Eustace. The ball at midfield, the original line of scrimmage. Schmitz straight ahead. Maybe 3 yards as Towson State plays it tough in the middle. Again, Don Redmond, number 60, and Don Gibson, number 66. Joe Wagner, of course, the middle guard, number 71. Looking to break a playoff record of his own for yardage gain. Norman to Eustace. Eustace breaks the tackle and gets to the 30-yard line. It's a foot race down the far sideline. Eustace finally bumped out of bounds at about the 11-yard line. And the 32-yard run is doing a super job on defense.
Here's the 2nd man through the inside belly. The least likely man to get the ball. The big power running back, Eustace. He turns on surprising speed and runs all the way down to about the 11 or 12-yard line, making the 11-yard line for a first down for St. John's.
This has got to be about the toughest place to score for him, Duffy, when you got a 1st and 10 at the 11.
It's not a bad place to be, though.
Second down and 9. Norman still has it, wants to throw. Roeder, touchdown! Jim Roeder, who came in at wingback, replacing Chris Boyd when he was injured. A touchdown pass of 10 yards from Jeff Norman for the third St. John touchdown of the afternoon. Steve Zabriskie and Duffy Doherty back at the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl. St. John set to kick off after scoring their third touchdown. 10 Towson State from their own 34-yard line. Tailback is Maloney. And a penalty marker is thrown right in there. I believe we're going to have a face mask called, Duffy. It looks like somebody accidentally grabbed Maloney's face mask.
This is the first time that we've had Towson State in St. John's half of the field. Now with the ball on about the 47-yard line of...
Second and 10 from the St. John's 47 for Towson State. Doyle. Joe Luby makes the first hit on him along with Tom Cost. Good hard running by Doyle and good hard hitting by the St. John's defense. As State 2 of 7 on third down conversions this afternoon. Out of the I formation, Tom Jones. Number 97, Gary Stagg makes the tackle. Jones is not quite to first down yardage. At 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock Central Time on ABC. Fourth down. I don't believe that Tom Jones made it. We'll have to see where they give him his forward progress. He was driven back. First time they moved into St. John's territory, couldn't convert on 4th and 1, and so St. John's is back to the offense. Norman wants to throw. Pressure's on him. He's dropped for a loss. Towson State, 21-0. Excuse me. The Tigers are back on offense, however, and they need some offense. First and 10 from the 34. Did he catch it? Still bobbling around. I believe he did, yes. A super catch by Towson State super tight end Skip Chase, number 83. Ernie England made the tackle. Have an injured player on the field. Here's the play again, Duffy.
Here it is. Skip Chase bobbled it and catches it before the ball hits the ground. And that's good concentration when a receiver can do that.
Oz Hogs from Austin, Texas, here on ABC. Second and 7 from the 49-yard line. Dulé on the pitch. Doyle crosses midfield, gets into St. John's territory at the 48-yard line. He's hit down there immediately by Tom Cost, number 88, and number 47, Mark Griffin. Third down. And a long 4 or a short 5. Dulé to pass. Complete and out of bounds to Skip Chase at the 41-yard line. And that is enough yardage for the first down. On second down and 8, Dulé completes a pass. Number 84, Ken Snoots. Snoots is thrown out of bounds by his opposite number 34, Mark Hall, defense receivers. And again, Dan Dulé continues to improve on his passing in Towson State now, moving into St. John's territory. Overthrown, intended for Snoots once again. Defending on the play, number 21, Terry Garrity of St. John's. And in the Grantland Rice Bowl, it's Montana State over North Dakota State in the third quarter, 7-3. Those two winners will meet next week for the Division II title. Dulé dropped for a loss by Ernie England. Duffy, you were just talking about Ernie England. He comes up with a great defensive play.
Yes, I am.
First man through. Schmitz gets close to the 50-yard line, about out to the 48-yard line. 77, Gabe Morrow, and 53, Paul Nelson, make the tackle for the Towson State Tigers.
Coach John Gagliardi has coached teams. His teams, in fact, have gone undefeated for 20 games.
They're on the third down conversion, 5 of 12 so far this afternoon. Norman to the first back, Smith breaks it. He's at the 30-yard line. It's a foot race now. Touchdown, St. John. Tim Smith has gone over 100 yards this afternoon and puts the Johnnies out in front now, 27-0. Let's take another look at it, Duffy.
Here it is. The play looks like it's going to be stopped the line of scrimmage. Then all of a sudden, out through the opening of the line, bursts the second man through, Tim Smith. And he legs it with that great speed. I didn't realize he could run that fast.
A 28-0 lead. And Duffy, Tim Schmitz has got to really be something. We heard a lot about him in his 1,300 yards this year, but he's gone over the 100-yard mark now and has been very, very impressive this afternoon. 23 carries, for 144 yards for Tim Schmitz today. I seem to believe that they can't get back into it now with the way they can score, the way they can throw the football. They're running it now, however. Doyle, the ball carrier, getting out near the 30-yard line. They mark it right at the 30. The gain of 5. Stopped by Gary Stagg, number 97, and Ernie England, number 94. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Again, we remind you tonight, Texas and Arkansas, the Razorbacks and the Longhorns from Austin, Texas, at 9 Eastern, 8 Central on most of these ABC stations on NCAA college football here on ABC. On 2nd and 5, Dulé to pass complete to Bennett. Bennett fighting for yardage. Gets to about the 37-yard line, maybe the 38-yard line. Terry Garrity, number 21, and Mark Griffin, number 47, make the play for St. John's.
You don't see that very often. Number 21, Mike Bennett, catching a pass, and number 21, Terry Garrity, stopping him.
You get a good look there at Mike Bennett, a 5'10", 175-pound senior, who has caught 41 passes for 751 yards and 6 touchdowns coming into this game today. I formation in the backfield. Perhaps a yard gain on the play. Short yardage at best by Maloney, the tailback. Again, Gary Stagg, number 97, making the tackle, along with number 43, Greg Wilkerson, up from the secondary. Time runs out here in the 3rd quarter. And we will return with more NCAA college football and the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl from Phoenix City, Alabama. With the score, St. John's 28, Towson State of Maryland, nothing. And the stats just continue to impress St. John's offense. Duffy is really impressive.
Well, they're on schedule, 326 yards gained in 3 quarters versus 141 for Towson State.
Towson State now on 2nd down and 9. Complete to Snoot. Nice move as he gets down to the 5-yard line. Ken Snoots on the pass from Dan Dulé. Finally dropped by Joe Luby, number 35, in the St. John's secondary. High formation in the backfield with Doyle and Maloney. Maloney, the ball carrier, submarine by number 88, Tom Cost. A great defensive play by Cost as he dumps Maloney for a loss of a yard behind Dulé. Again, Snoots goes in motion. Dulé wants to throw into the end zone. Overthrown, intended for Skip Chase, number 83. The ball was just too high. And out. The big backs are back in with Maloney and Doyle in the I formation. Maloney, dive, touchdown, Towson State. And the Tiger fans are happy about that one. Mike Maloney diving 1 yard on 4th down and goal for Towson State's first touchdown of the afternoon. 16 seconds. Randy Bielski, no, a bad snap as Bielski attempted the extra point. And the holder, Carter Wilson, is dropped by Ernie England, number 94. 18-yard line leading 28-6. Norman on the option play, keeping, crossing the 20, fumble. Bielski falls on the ball. We'll wait and see. I believe they blew the whistle.
Ability to score rapidly and often. And there's plenty of time left in this ball game, 11 minutes and 30 seconds. So they could put a couple more scores on the board.
St. John's wants to keep it on the ground and run the clock out. However, Schmitz, second man through, crosses the 25-yard line. Not nearly enough for the first down yardage. He gets out to about the 26. Gone. Towson State. Foster hits it a high kick from his own 15-yard line. Taken at by number 24, Rick Simmons. And Towson State again will have good field position after a 28-yard punt. No return. And in NCAA football, the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl will continue after this message. Line 1st and 10. Dulé over the middle, complete. Skip Chase, number 83, again on the reception. Joe Luby, number 35, makes the tackle.
Score. Let's take a watch. Now, take a good look at it. There's Skip Chase, number 83. He's been the leading receiver so far for the Towson Tigers.
Down and 6. Ball at the St. John's 32. Dulé to pass again. He eludes the pressure, going for the touchdown. Towson State. Ken Snoots tackled in the end zone by Terry Garrity, but Towson State scores again very quickly, and again the big play man is Ken Snoots. And we made a foul against St. John. Here it is again, Duffy.
Let's take a look. Dulé was rushed very hard. He scrambled. He gets open. He throws the ball. Ken Snoots is there in the end zone. A great catch, a great throw. 6 more points on the board. for the Towson Tigers in the second.
Doyle and Maloney are in the backfield behind Dulé as they go for two. 28-12. Looking in the end zone to throw. Complete to Bennett. Again, Mike Bennett on the reception. The 14. Towson State making a run at recapturing what had been a game that almost had gotten out of hand. Joe Luby and Davey O'Brien are back deep to receive, and he punches it. It's going to go the 10-yard line. Schmitz, the up back, takes it, and he's in trouble at the 5. A very good piece of strategy on the part of Towson State, Duffy. They just not kicking out of the end zone, but make a little chip shot.
They just kicked it down to about the 5-yard line. They didn't have much territory to cover in the coverage.
In from their own 5. Schmitz straight ahead, out to about the 6 or 7-yard line. And the Towson defense is fired up. Schmitz is met right there by Richard Wheeler, number 38, among others, along with number 66, Don Gibson.
And they will certainly get good field position, probably inside the 50-yard line. They have 9 minutes and 52 seconds. There's an injured player on the field. Maybe you want to comment on
Tim Schmitz, who is the most important man in the scheme of things for St. John's, is down. And there you see John Gallardi, the head coach of St. John's, coming onto the field to... Norman still has it. Cuts up inside and gets out close to the 10, but that's all. Don Redmond, number 60, continues to do an outstanding job on defense for Towson State, along with Paul White, number 46. St. John's from their own 10. Norman straight ahead, giving off to the first man through. Schmitz, and Schmitz gets just 2 yards, stopped by 71, Joe Wagner, the 220-pound middle guard, and number 48, Joe Kelly, the senior linebacker. Number 36, Randy Bielski. Bielski standing right about at midfield. Foster hits it from the 3-yard line. End-over-end kick. Bielski comes up and takes it at the 44-yard line of St. John's, down to the 40-yard line. Tackle made by number 73, Mark Nudicane. And they have 8.5 minutes left to play in the game, which is plenty of time. Out of the I formation, Dulé rolling to the right. Complete to Bennett at the 20-yard line. Mike Bennett at the 15. Joe Luby finally hauls him down at the 18-yard line of St. John's. 22-yard play. Here it is again.
Here it is. Dan DeLay, counter pass. Mike Bennett running a very intelligent pattern. He gets in front of the defensive man, cuts back across the field. Watch him reverse his field now. Take the ball all the way down to about the 14-yard line. The Tigers are rolling again.
Fourth quarter after not doing much for the first 3. You look from the end zone on 2nd down and 8 from the 11-yard line. The pass just a little bit too tall. Intended for Skip Chase. Towson State fighting to get back into it, 28-14. 7:20 left to play in the game. Dulé wants to throw again. Into the end zone. Intercepted. Picked off. Intended for Rick Bielski, picked off by number 24, or 34, it is Mark.
Here's an excellent defensive play. Watch Mark Hall cover the defender, step in front of Bielski, right here, pick up the ball and run it back out to about the 12-yard line.
That's the 4th interception that Dan Dulé has suffered this afternoon, and that one came at a most inopportune time. Maybe he forced that ball a little bit, up 93 yards and 10 carries. Schmitz already has over 150. Here's the pitch. Roder going to throw a halfback pass. Complete to number 83, Mike Grant, at the 40-yard line. A penalty marker is down, however. A penalty marker is down, and I believe it is against St. John's.
Downfield.
You mark it off back to the 10-yard line, and another break for Towson State as they keep St. John's backed up. That's the 6th penalty on St. John's for a total of 64 yards in college football today. Norman on the wingback reverse to Roder. Roder goes nowhere. 71, Joe Wagner continues to do a super job in the middle. Stops Roder for a 1-yard gain at the 11-yard line. It'll be 4th and 12, and St. John's will have to kick it away again. Do everything back. Who is also a kicker himself, is back to receive. Nice high punt. Bielski calls for the fair catch at the 48-yard line of Towson State. A 41-yard punt by Frank Foster. Dulé dropping straight back. A long one intended for Bennett. Incomplete. Good coverage on the play by number 34, Mark Hall. And Hall, if there should have been offensive pass interference. On the 48-yard line. Bennett has caught 4 for 46 yards so far this afternoon. Dulé with the pressure on him from England. He's dropped for a loss back at the 31-yard line. Again, Ernie England, the middle guard, 6'4", 220-pound freshman. Cowens of Arkansas, one of the finest rushers in the Southwest Conference. At 9 Eastern, 8 Central here on ABC, Texas, Arkansas. Dulé avoiding the pressure, throws over the middle, intercepted. Joe Luby. Luby looking for some running room. Finally tackled by Mike Bennett at about the 41-yard line. A 10-yard return on the interception by Joe Luby, and that may have snuffed out Towson State's last scoring opportunity, as we now have 3:42 left to play in the game. And hold on to this win. Straight up the middle goes Eustace, crosses the 40-yard line to about the 37 or 8-yard line. St. John's doesn't even scrimmage his players during the week, but they certainly know how to hit when they get here on the field for the game. And there's one of the big stories, 6 turnovers for Towson State. The 100-yard mark. On 3rd down and 6, Eustace straight ahead, getting close to that 100-yard mark, down near the 32-yard line. Joe Wagner, number 71, makes the tackle. We'd like to thank St. John's head coach and athletic director John Gilardi and his staff, and sports information director Tom Woodward for their cooperation. And we'd also like to express our appreciation to Towson State's athletic director Tom Meinhardt and Coach Phil Albert and his staff, and sports information director Peter Schlur for their help in preparing this game. And in running back, St. John's has. They've eliminated the mistakes, they've controlled the football, and they are about to become the Division III NCAA football champions unless Towson State can come up with another miracle. It is 4th down with 2 yards to go. Norman may not have it. He's wrapped up right about at the line of scrimmage. Quickly making the tackle on him is number 66, Don Gibson, who's Bennett to the right. 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Bennett on the halfback pass, looking for a double pass. Now the receiver falls down, and it's intercepted by St. John's. Terry Garrity, I believe we got a penalty marker down. A personal foul is going to be called, or interference. Maybe he got knocked down and didn't fall down. It's Tigers want to score one more time, complete to Snoots. Snoots at the 30-yard line. Finally brought down, 81, Tim Crispin. Swarming and picking off 4 interceptions. The pitch back to Tom Jones. Jones sweeping, running out of bounds at about the 22 or 1-yard line. Marking at the 22, Mark Hall, 5'11", 185-pound sophomore defensive back, runs him out of bounds. Chase is on the right side. Dulé looking to throw into the end zone again. It's in for Snoots. Touchdown! With just a minute 3 seconds left to play in the game, Towson State again strikes very quickly.
Right now, Steve, I'm sure we will see an onside kick attempted by Towson State. They have to get that ball with a minute and 3 seconds left.
As you can see, with only 79 yards passing, they got a pass 11 rushing, however, and Towson State has really come on throwing the ball here in the second half.
Here's is eligible to recover an onside kick.
Bielski set to kick off. And there it is. The Squibber, they're going to let it go 10 yards. Who's got it? I think Towson State has it. They do. It works. That'll be a perfect onside kick for the Towson State Tigers with a minute and 2 seconds left in the game. And 10 just across the 40-yard line for Towson State with an opportunity to tie it up and perhaps even win it. Dulé, incomplete, almost intercepted. It was tipped by number 47, Mark Griffin in the secondary. Griffin holding his head because he knew he had an opportunity to pick it off. Saturday afternoon for the Division II title. This, however, is for the Division III title. 28-21, the draw play. Out to the 30-yard line, and very, very close to first down yardage is Kenny Doyle, the fullback. We have 50 seconds left to play in the game. Delay on a pitch sweep to Jones. Jones going for the first down and out of bounds. After getting the first down at the 27-yard line of St. John's, Mark Hall, number 34, ran him out of bounds. If they do elect to go for it, if they score at all, we will have a sudden death playoff. Dulé looking to throw again over the middle, complete. Skip Chase down inside the 10-yard line before he's dropped by Mark Griffin.
Pass to their great tight end, Skip Chase, number 83, who shows he can also run. He doesn't just lumber. There he goes all the way down to the 7. Another timeout now in the field. The Towson State Tigers using up, which I think is their last first down. I'm not quite sure, but they have, fortunately for them, saved their timeouts for such a situation as this.
Period begins. 39 seconds left to go in the game. 28-21. Towson State trailing and looking to score. Into the end zone. It's complete, but it's out of bounds. He was over the end line. Mike Bennett caught the ball when he was out of the end zone. Doyle and Maloney in the backfield behind Dulé, and Dulé looks to throw again. Good protection into the end zone. Touchdown! Mike Bennett again with a touchdown reception for Towson State. 28-27 with 30 seconds left to play. Let's take another look at it, Duffy. They've done it. They've come back from 28-0 with an opportunity to either tie it up or win it on the conversion here. Penalty marker is down on the field, however. Here it is again.
Let's take a look at the play again. The play that Delay hung in there. Oh, what a catch by Mike Bennett.
Towson State has come back on a 6-play drive, going 40 yards in just 33 seconds, and come back from 28-0 to where you see right there a tie game.
I don't know about you, Steve, but I haven't seen a more exciting football game all year.
The touchdown play was a dead ball foul, and so unsportsmanlike conduct has been marked off. A 15-yarder back to the 25-yard line of Towson State, and they will have to kick off from that point. Duffy, that gives their regular 4 plays. They have a total of 8 plays, maximum. If they make a first down. Here's the kick at the 25-yard line, taken by Davey O'Brien. O'Brien out near the 40-yard line.
If they score on first down, they get back in second down. They can score 8 touchdowns.
That's true.
But you have to make, you're right, you have to make 10 yards
make the first down for St. John's. Norman to throw. Intended for Roeder. Incomplete. A great defensive play by number 25, John Rawson. Second down and 10 from the 41-yard line of St. John's. Again, Norman wants to throw a long one down here. Intended for Roeder. He's got it. Roeder is the field. Roeder to you all the way. At the 5-yard line. He's still to the 1. Unbelievable play on second.
Let's take a look at the official. Jim Roeder catches this pass from Norman. Then the official inadvertently makes a good block for him, a screen block. He cuts back inside. You didn't see that. There's the official. Screened out the defensive back. And Roeder almost scored, going down to about the 1-yard line. Time for 1 play left in the ball game if it's a running play.
A 58-yard pass play from Jeff Norman to Jim Roeder, and St. John's strikes just as quickly as Towson State has been doing it. Roeder with 2 catches for 68 yards following the 58-yarder. Here's that play again, Duffy.
I know the official will feel badly, but he does screen off the defensive back. Screens out the defensive back and permits Roeder to go all the way to the 1-yard line.
State. Goal line defense for Towson State. Ball is loose.
I don't believe he made it.
Joe Kelly, number 48, makes the hit. Scott Becker will hold, and quarterback Jeff Norman will attempt a field goal from the 9-yard line. It will be a 19-yard attempt with 3 seconds left on the clock, and the score tied 28 all. The rush is on. It's up. It's good.
And the game is over.
Time runs out on the clock, and St. John's of Minnesota has held on to defeat Towson State 31-28 on Jeff Norman's 19-yard field goal at the gun. What a game, Duffy, for the national championship of Division III. As you see John Gallardi, the St. John's coach, coming onto the field. We'll be back to wrap it up with NCAA college football at the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl on ABC.